On today's episode of the Snack Run, we complete a lemonade taste test, compare popular snack food brands, and play a very dangerous game.
Alright, so believe it or not, it's actually been over a year since our last in-person episode. And during that episode, I'm not sure who it was, but someone made a comment that didn't quite age well. Let's run it back.
Let's say you were in a scenario where you needed to be in the house for an extended period of time because of some event that is keeping you there, a quarantine of sorts. What is your go-to non-perishable food?
So I think we're just going to kind of reflect on the foods that we said and kind of just talk about if you actually ate those foods or kind of just reflect on that. So Gank, want to start us off?
Sure. I said rice and beans, and I don't think that's a bad take. I didn't eat it too much over quarantine, but I had it a lot at school, and I didn't really get sick of it, so I think if I did have it more, it wouldn't have been bad. But I feel like I could have picked a better food. Yeah.
I said lentils. In retrospect, this was probably a mistake. Although I ate lentil soup, and I think I ate another dish involving lentils at some point. I think I ate a lot more pasta over quarantine, just because of how easy it was to make pasta, pretty quickly. And although lentils are pretty healthy, I would say pasta is probably a better option for me to have said then.
So I said mac and cheese. I brought up a few different brands, and I definitely did hold true to this. My school was online, so I was home for the year, and I actually ended up getting, I think it was like a 30-pack or something of Annie's mac and cheese. Haven't gotten through all of it, but I did end up using quite a bit of it. And I mean, you don't really get sick of it, and it hits every time. It's a quick and easy lunch or dinner. Made a couple of variations on it sometimes, adding a little sriracha or something, maybe some... Yeah, stuff like that, just to spice it up a little bit. And yeah, so I'd say I definitely do not regret that selection at all.
Okay, so I actually was not here for this episode, and I did not get to give my take, but I'd ask to probably pick two foods that I'd have a lot. One would be potatoes, very versatile. You've got mashed potatoes, baked, roasted, hash browns, French fries, potato chips.
Oh,
so that's pretty versatile. And then another one that I had a lot was eggs, because versatile again, sunny side up, fried, breakfast sandwiches, scrambled, boiled, hard boiled. I'm not a fan, but very, very
the
versatile.
The first four were great though.
And changing up the condiments, I have ketchup with one, and then hot sauce with the other. I feel like they almost taste like not a chance. Taste different. In different areas that they are used in. Whether it's like a breakfast sandwich versus sunny side up, I do taste almost feel like different meals.
Yeah, and then my food was chili, which I didn't eat too much, but I would definitely stay true to that choice because chili is just top tier food. And one time that I did have it was for the Super Bowl, because every year at home we have chili for the Super Bowl, and I was at school, and so I actually got some dinosaur barbecue chili for the Super Bowl.
That's awesome.
And so actually one of the only times I had chili over, I guess, the pandemic was from Dinosaur Barbecue. So, still waiting for the sponsor.
Please.
You know how to reach us.
Please sponsor us. I'm not joking when we say we will stop at nothing to get this sponsor.
Alright, so this is a segment we're going to call Dangerous Game. And for our first installment, we're playing a game called Sweets or Sardines. Okay? So, I'm going to bring in I guess you could call it game board, and then we'll explain how this is going to work. Okay, so we've got it set up, and this is how the game's going to work. So under 4 of these cups, we have some chocolatey sweets. I won't say what, but I can assure you they're all pretty good. Under the last cup, we have a nice heaping pile of sardines, which Andy has picked up from the local CVS. And basically, whichever cup you lift, that's what you got to eat. So we're going to go around. We're each going to pick our cup ahead of time, and then we're all going to lift at the same time. and whatever you get, you gotta eat. All right, so we've randomized who picks first. So we're just gonna go ahead and each pick a cup.
I'll take the middle.
No.
All right, Andy's got middle.
Take this one.
So bold. So bold.
Take the far one. Take the far one. Take the bar. Take the bar one.
No.
All right, so everyone, and that leaves me with this cup. So everyone, put your hand on your cup. All right. Lift on 3, 2, 1, go. And Danny got the
so
sardine.
unappealing. Let's go. It looks like something that probably shouldn't be eaten. That's just my
It smells.
first idea. All right, here we go.
Down the hatch.
Honestly, it tastes like tuna. That's like gross.
Okay. Does it taste like it smells?
Yeah,
Okay. It's pretty bad.
not appealing. Would not have it unless I picked it. But not as bad as I was expecting it to be. Smell was worse than taste.
Oh, really?
Very oily. Yeah, bad aftertaste, but not as bad as I was expecting it to be.
All right.
It's not terrible.
2.7 out of 10. 2.7 out of 10.
I'll try one.
Oh.
I'll try one.
Yeah.
I'll go, Mike.
I guess we're doing this.
I won't.
Alright, bottoms up.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Really?
It tastes like
bad.
it smells.
It's not that bad, yeah.
Tastes like it smells tuna.
Smells
tuna,
a lot.
but slightly
Smells
gross.
100% a lot worse.
Would not have it if I had, unless I had to.
Yeah, I don't know why you would eat
Yeah.
this.
Snack run question of the day. Is there anybody out there that eats these unironically?
Comment, because I think Jaden Freeman's the kind of guy.
I could see it.
In this next segment, we will be going over liquid death, which might seem like some type of alcohol, but really, it's mountain water and sparkling water. That's it.
From the Alps.
Oh, from the
Yeah.
Alps, you're right.
Liquid Death's whole marketing campaign centers around how they will murder your thirst, which I think is a pretty clever. It's a pretty clever advertising tactic.
Anything.
Also, with Liquid Death and how they talk about murder your thirst, there is a skull made out of water. Imagine from the Alps.
Skulls are not actually made out of water.
No.
That's what. Yeah.
And there are no
But-
skulls in this water, to be clear.
Dinosaur BBQ.
But there's this one. So this one is actually mountain water. It says
Should we try the mountain
this one's mountain water,
Yeah,
and then
let's
this
try the
one's
mountain water
sparkling
first,
water.
just because I feel like that one might kill us. So we should
We
probably.
gotta climb the ladder.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start off by trying the mountain water. All right.
Ooh, it has a nice little crisp pop to it when you pop that thing open.
My thirst is so ready to be murdered.
Death to plastic is another hashtag that they use on the can.
It's environmentally friendly. We love that.
My hands still smell like sardines.
Same
So
water.
sorry. The sardines are passed on to the can. Oh, it's literally just water.
Come on, Danny. It's mountain water. Same here. All right.
All right, we
cheers,
should do
boys.
a cheers and then a 3, 2, 1.
The JR.
Here's to the snack run returning after a long hiatus.
There we go.
Wait.
It's water.
I'd actually say this tastes worse than normal water.
I was about to say my Brita filter tastes much better.
Yeah.
Than this.
It has a certain.
I'm still thirsty.
It tastes
Not
like
really
it
good
tastes
job.
like it's water from like an aquarium or something.
Yeah, literally, like it feels like something been living in there.
Honestly,
Yeah, that's kind of true.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually more thirsty now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was the same thing.
My thirst is alive and well.
I need to actually quench my thirst now with the Gatorade.
It's not quite right.
Are you gonna quench your thirst?
Yeah, I will quench my thirst with a Gatorade.
Liquid death sucks.
Let's see if maybe the sparkling water can do the trick. But
I'm ready for my thirst to be murdered because, like Yona said, my thirst is still alive and well, and I was honestly kind of let down by the mountain water. You can't even tell that it's from the mountain. All right, bottoms up.
Whoa.
It's crispy.
That's
Yeah. That is like crazier than like Sprite from McDonald's.
so
Oh
bubbly.
he gone.
just kind of burns.
It's
Oh.
insanely.
It feels like normal
carbonated.
water
Yeah.
that hurts.
It might be one of the most carbonated beverages I've ever
It's
had.
so carbonated you can't even see the bubbles. I'm pretty sure it's like 99% bubble, so it just looks consistent throughout.
I will say though, in terms of taste, I think this tastes better than the last one.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I'd probably agree.
I agree with that.
It's more painful though. The other one at least went down fairly smooth.
It-
This one kind of
This one lives up to its name.
It
more.
tastes how I'd
Yeah.
imagine TV static to taste.
Yeah, there you go.
But
In
still is
general,
pretty good.
not a fan of plain sparkling water. If Liquid Death is watching this, which I know they are because, I mean, everyone watches this, I think you guys should consider branching out into other flavors of death. So, if there were perhaps a lemon lime, maybe an orange, even a cranberry lime that could work its way in. Take some inspiration from great seltzer brands like Polar. Maybe this wouldn't be quite as, I don't want to say atrocious, but let's say mediocre of a product. Let's give it some credit.
Well, actually, I do have some other beverages in my fridge that might be a little bit better than this Liquid Death. Should we give those a try?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, so I have 3 cups on the table here, and in all of these cups is some form of lemonade, all right? And these are 3 brands that I'm sure you're all familiar with. So we're going to try each one, and I'd be curious to know if you guys can guess which one's which, and also rank them. So let's just start off with this green one right here, all right?
Pretty watery.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very watery.
Bro, that's.
This is the Liquid
Oh,
Death.
no. I know what it is. I have a guess. It's the powder. I bet it's the powder lemonade.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Powder?
Yeah.
What kind of?
I'm gonna go with Country Time Lemonade.
It could be.
No,
Okay.
it's one of the ones that's in like the little powder that's like this and you pour
I
it
guess it
in.
might
I was
be
gonna
more-
say it looks like Hubert's, but it's
No,
not.
it's not
It's not
Hubie's.
sweet enough to be Hubie's.
Yeah.
I think it's a powder.
It's not sweet enough to be
It
any.
might not be
Yeah.
Country Time,
I
I
think
guess,
it's
because
powder.
it would be more yellowy, I think. Maybe like
It's
a
not-
Crystal Light.
It's
Powder
not.
is-
It's not
powder,
sweet
yeah.
enough to be any commercial lemonade without it being a powder.
Barely even tastes like lemonade.
It could be one of those organics, though. It could be one of those organics.
No, because the organics is gonna like be more of like sour than that. Like that's sweet and not very flavorful.
It's just numb. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like a.
It's
it
a
tastes
powder,
like
but-
water.
Yeah,
It tastes like water.
I can't like I don't know what powder lemonades there are.
If this is like homemade, I'm gonna feel so bad.
I'm so sorry.
DeFranco.
Yeah, so I actually spent 5 hours. So let's move on to.
Okay, so at least our
Blue
final
cup.
guess for that is powder lemonade with an unknown brand.
Okay.
Huge
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, this is
Minute
Minute
Maid.
Maid.
Yeah,
Minute Maid.
Minute Maid.
You can tell because it has that kind of. It's hard to describe. It has a certain aftertaste that's like very powerful.
Like it's like a sharp.
like
Yeah.
sucrose.
Sharp.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's definitely the Minute Maid. Oh, I can't tell if it's in the one with like the jug or like just the
It's
single.
the jug. It's the jug.
Job.
And let's try this last one here.
I have a really good feeling about this last one.
I bet this last one's gonna be much more sour. That's my guess.
I already know what this one is.
Wait, don't drink it
Oh, I got trigger happy.
yet.
Yeah, that's Simply Lemonade.
To simply have the pulp in it.
What's the
I
what's the
can-
one
I
that
know
comes
it's
in like a
something.
carton and it's like a
Tropicana, maybe?
No.
No,
He's
this
talking
is-
about.
With the
Newman's Own.
Newman's Own.
Do you think it's this? Do you think it's that?
Kind of tastes like
It
it.
kinda, yeah, it kind of does. I don't think it's that. Though.
I think it's Simply.
Well, you guys, they can disagree.
Yeah, you can disagree.
I don't know if it is though.
I don't think. I
One
think
of the
simply,
two. I'm pretty sure
Simply
it's one of the
makes
two.
sense. I think Hubie's is sweeter.
I don't think
There's
it's
no
Hubie's.
way this
It's
guy
just
got
no way.
Hubie. There's
Yeah,
no
that-
way.
I don't think it's Hubie's. I would say Simply. I think.
I would say powdered lemonade. Not sure what it is, but definitely just one of the little ones you like rip open and pour in.
For this one?
No. First one.
Oh.
Second one, Minute Maid. I'm going from just this. Not 2 liter. Not the 2 liter bottle, but like the smaller one.
You think it's
like
the
an
carton?
individual.
Not individual.
Well,
but-
individual and the 2 liter would have the same thing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can tell the size just from the taste. And then the last one, simply.
Andy, what do you think?
I mean, I think I agree for the most part there. Powdered in the first. Definitely Minute Maid second. And I do think it was the from the bottle variety. And then number 3, Simply, without a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I concur.
I don't think the first one was powdered, but I don't know what it is. Just a big question.
Wait, the first one was Whole Foods.
All right, so I'm gonna reveal now what the lemonades were, and let me start by saying you got the second 2 right.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Okay.
The second one was Minute Maid.
Wait, what was the size?
Small bottle.
Let's go!
You were saying 2 liter.
Yeah, that's the same thing. What do you mean?
Small
No,
bottle
small
and 2
bottle.
liter are
No,
completely different.
small bottle and 2 liter. I know it's different size, but it's the same content.
No, we were talking about the size of the
No,
bottle.
that's not what you.
And the first one,
Like Wegmans or something?
you were all wrong. It was vitamin water lemonade.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, that
That
makes
threw me off.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why it's water.
Yeah, it's water.
I thought that might be a bit of a wild card. And
That was
Vitamin
good.
Water, do not sponsor us. I'm not a huge fan. Before we start our next segment, I do just want to mention that unfortunately, Yono had to leave. He was registered for a slightly important lecture at our local UMass Amherst Mount Ida campus about the dangers of pottery making in one of the Carolinas. I don't think we can disclose which one, but yeah, so he's gone. And with that being said, we're going to launch into our next bit here about snack foods. And many of you have probably heard of Hostess, Drake's Cakes, and Little Debbie. But I don't know, do you guys have a preference between the 3 brands? Because I feel like their products are pretty similar. So today we have 3 of their similar products. Little Debbie Swiss Rolls, Drake's Cakes, Devil Dogs, and we've got Hostess Twinkies, the classic. And we're going to be trying them, comparing them, and deciding ultimately which one of these is the best snack food brand.
I guess start off with the Twinkie because I think that's probably the most iconic. I mean, out of these 3, the Twinkie's definitely the one that I've heard the most of. So I guess we'll just give these a try. All right,
Just filled.
cheers.
I like the texture, it's pretty fluffy. And the filling is nice. It's not like too much. I think a lot of the time with like icing, like whipped cream type fillings, it's just overly sweet and it's not enjoyable. It's a nice balance though between the cake and the cream.
So you could argue it's like almost overhyped though.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree, but I mean, I guess.
I guess they're like old enough that like they probably predate most of the stuff that we compare it to. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like this just seems pretty regular, but I guess if that's like the original, then it's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Tasted a bit salty to me, but that might have been the pretzels.
Salty?
Salt.
Yeah, like slightly salty.
I guess let's move on to these Drake's Cakes Devil Dogs, which I have never had.
I've had them like
These are
once
good.
or twice, I think.
Actually, wait, these are the best.
I've never had those.
I've never had a Little Debbie. I think I've had this like once or twice, maybe. I
I
feel
don't
like
think
these
I've
could be
had
good
these either.
cold. Like put them in the
Yeah.
freezer for a little bit. That can be really
They
good.
are a bit cold because they were sitting next to the sardines, which helped cool them off a bit.
How close were they to the sardines?
It goes down a little tougher.
I think I like this better than the Twinkie though.
I think I disagree.
I'm on the fence here because at least it has some chocolate taste as opposed to just the pure sweetness of the Twinkie. But I don't really like the chocolate taste. It's kind of like bland. It's a very
Well,
bland
it's
chocolate.
Devil's Food Cake, right? Which isn't like pure chocolate cake. I don't even know exactly what
The
Devil's
cream
Food Cake
is better than the Twinkie cream for sure.
Really? I disagree.
The cake part, though, kind of reminds me of something that's kosher for Passover.
I kind of see what you
Yeah.
mean, actually.
All right, and then last up we have the Swiss rolls by Little Debbie. I will say this is just completely falling apart.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be a messy
The
one.
shell, it looks like it has completely come off on at least 2 of the pieces.
Not a great culinary architecture.
I like the shell, even though it's falling off. I do like the shell.
Yep.
Too
I think
messy.
these would all be significantly better if they were like from the freezer. I feel like
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
specifically
Yeah.
the Twinkie. The Twinkie I think would have
Mhm.
been the best from the freezer.
Yeah, true.
Or not like frozen, but like chilled.
Yeah, I agree.
This one's definitely my favorite. might be a bit of the nostalgia factor, but it's it has a nice rich chocolatey flavor as opposed to the Devil Dog, and I like the multiple textures with like the outer coating and then the soft cake on the inside, and then you also get the cream. So this is definitely my favorite. Second, probably the Devil Dog. And then close behind the Devil Dog would be the Twinkie.
I'm gonna go Devil Dog 1 because of nostalgia factor, with Drake's and everything. Then Swiss rolls, which are pretty good, although they did obviously have some structural integrity issues. And then finally, I'd go Twinkie and lowest, just due to high expectations and being legendary. I would have found a little better, but still all great nonetheless.
I think I'd probably go with the Swiss number 1. It's not that they were that much better than the other ones. Like, if I had to have the Twinkie or Devil Dog over the Swiss roll, I wouldn't be upset.
No.
But I also think like hearing Mike's nostalgic story made me feel some secondhand nostalgia. And altogether, it was just a good bite. I feel like the other two had some issues with them, and the Swiss roll, I couldn't really, other than the falling apart, I couldn't really find something wrong with it. So I'd go Swiss rolls, then probably the Twinkie number 2, and finish it off with the Devil Dog.
Yeah, I agree with Andy. I think the Swiss rolls just had a better chocolatey taste and texture than the Devil Dogs, so that has to bring it over the dogs, and I just think it was slightly better than the Twinkie.
To close out the return episode of the Snack Run, I believe it's episode 10 actually.
Yeah.
We're going to introduce a new segment here called Do's and Don'ts, where we're each going to give one food or drink related recommendation that we would recommend, and one piece of advice that we would say, don't do this when it comes to food and drink. And I'm just going to start this off with a do. And that would probably be, do bring chips to an event. And I realized this yesterday at an event that I was at, and a lot of people brought chips. And I realized if you bring chips to an event, sure, the bag might go unopened. Some people might even dislike the chips. But nobody will think that's a weird thing to bring to an event. It is always a safe play. And on that note, never bring coleslaw to an event. That's just messed up. Nobody's going to eat it. Like, it's just not the right thing to do. You're going to end up bringing it home at the end of the day. Like, it's just buying coleslaw for yourself and then showing off that you like coleslaw. Just don't. That actually wasn't my don't, though. I was going to say, inspired by Yono, do not crack open a cold beverage, take one sip, and then leave it here when you leave to go attend your important seminar on the dangers of pottery making in one of the Carolinas. Because, as you can see, Yono opened this Gatorade, took basically less than one sip,
Yeah.
and then left
Here's
it
an
here.
unopened Gatorade, by the way.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's not even just about being a guest somewhere. I would say just in any situation, don't open a drink, take one sip, and then call it quits. It just isn't right.
Yo, no, that's a don't. So for mine, I'll start with my do. My do, although this might be a bit controversial, is do put whatever you want on pizza, okay?
Ooh,
including
I like
pineapple. All right, if you think it tastes good, put that shit on pizza, okay?
What about sardines?
You know, if that's what you're into, just go for it. And then my don't is going to be, don't reheat anything in the microwave that has any portion of fish. Okay?
Oh, that's a good
Just
one.
never a good idea. You just don't do it. You just don't do it. All right. Not only will it create a terrible odor, but it ruins the flavor, and you just can't reheat fish. All right.
Yono, that's a don't.
Okay, my do is when you have a Nature Valley bar, one of the green ones, the oats and honey,
Ooh.
and you have a yogurt, instead of using a spoon, take one of the bars, dunk it in, and then take a bite that way. It is very delicious, and it definitely a do. And the don't is don't eat broccoli for the taste. Because it tastes bad.
Yo, no, that's a don't. All right. My do is anytime a food tastes bland, add hot sauce to it. I do think that you can go for like the Cholulas or some of the srirachas that are less spicy but just have a lot of flavor to kind of just crank up the meal. Or if you want something really spicy, like such as a habanero or a ghost pepper hot sauce, add that to really make you sweat and stay hydrated. But just at least add something to something that's bland. And I'd go for more like the meals as opposed to desserts. Obviously desserts and hot sauce don't necessarily mix, but most meals, breakfasts, lunch, dinners, feel free to throw a hot sauce on it, on anything, and it will make it better. My do not, actually inspired by Gank's Nature Valley, is do not eat a Nature Valley bar in bed.
Oh,
you will have crumbs that you will not only find when you first eat it, but you will find crumbs when you're sleeping and realize it only after when you kind of like roll on it and feel it in your bed.
You know, that's a don't.
All right, now that we've paid our dues, we're going to close out episode 10 of the Snack Run. It really has been a long time, and I think, that just makes us really appreciate the Snack Run crew that we have here. We got quite the group, boys, and we've completed a year of college now. It's pretty crazy. It's been, almost 2 years or more since we originally started.
It's been over 2 years.
Over 2 years
since the first episode.
Yeah, but we're hoping to crank out some more episodes over this summer. We hope you guys enjoyed this return episode of the Snack Run. And we'll catch you later. Shout out to Jason Tatum.
Peace.